Smackdown should be quick. There shouldn't be a lot to say here, considering how fast the show seemed to go. Well, mostly because there's a lot of matches. All right, show starts off. Match number 1: Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. I'm curious how Mizdow is a wrestler. All the other wrestlers make plenty of money doing that, but he still needs to be hired by The Miz in order to be relevant. I just find that weird. The match starts, but it takes actually a good minute before there's any action because The Miz takes off his glasses and then yells at Mizdow for doing the same. It was actually a really fast match, part of the reason why they got so many matches in 2 hours. Very little was shown off. Daniel Bryan wins by submission after dominating The Miz. He looks strong right now. Been kind of the theme going into Fastlane. Daniel Bryan looks strong. That's mostly just, there's really not that much to say going into Fastlane. Maybe I'll end this up with my predictions. Ryback versus Kane. I just note that Kane gets more matches at the age of 47 in a month than some guys in their 20s do in 3 months. It's weird. I question why Ryback has pyros if we never see them, because I've never seen them. Ryback wins. It was a decent match. It was better than Kane's match with Roman. Dean Ambrose comes out. Apparently he's going to be doing commentary. And then we have match number 3, Bad News Barrett versus R-Truth. Dean Ambrose kind of rambles the entire match. I really did not care. It's not that he's a bad talker. It just wasn't anything important, really. And I also note that Wade Barrett has now become the 5th person since the Rumble to be saddled with the lose due to distraction problem. He kept yelling at Dean during the whole match, and when Dean ignored him, R-Truth rolled him up and won. I say, I'm fairly certain Bad News Barrett hasn't won a match outside of that one against Mizdow where he won because Mizdow was distracted by The Miz. And I don't think he's won a single match outside of that since he's become the IC champ. Match number 4, A New Day versus The Ascension. And I'm just floored by this one. Not because it was good, but because they just completely abandoned the shouting New Day altogether during their entrance. Instead, they switched over to just clapping, and I only note like about 20 people in the audience are clapping with them. They can't even get the audience to clap. That's pretty bad. So now the Ascension comes out. So I note the entire audience is going to fall asleep, and they do. And I also know that I didn't know this was a rules thing, that you could hold a guy in a corner and doing a double team move, get a 5 count for the double team move, and then get additional 5 count after that for holding him in the corner. I didn't know that. That's interesting information. The Ascension dominates Xavier for most of the match. He gets a hot tag to Big E, and then Big E goes on the offensive, but then Big E is reversed when he does a splash and lands on Victor's knee. Not Victor. Yeah, Victor's knees. Then he gets thrown into the pole shoulder first, and then they prefer the fall man and win. No one cared. Match 5, Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wins, and I also note that this is the best match Roman has had since the Rumble. And he also has finally gotten a legit win with no bullshit. But he still looks weaker than Daniel Bryan. By a lot. Bryan dominated Miz. Roman had a fight on his hands. Daniel Bryan looks like the stronger competitor. Match 6, Eric Rowan versus Big Show. A lot of matches. Big Show attacks Roman outside the ring before the match even starts. This is the second time since the Rumble that Rowan has been beaten up before starting a match. Last time it was Rusev. Even though this happened, Rowan still agreed to start the match. He gets squashed. Match number 7, Paige versus Cameron. I say, whatever, it's the exact same thing as the last 5 Paige matches. I don't care. Then we have Goldust talking about Cody. Apparently they have a match at Fastlane. And he says that Stardust is a cancer, and he wants his brother back. And this is going to be probably the hardest thing he has to do, and that's beat him. Apparently, Cody, though, as Stardust, interrupts on the television right behind Goldust. I just to cut his own little thing promo on Goldust. I asked, how did Cody know to do that? And how did he do that? Match number 8, Jimmy Uso versus Tyson Kidd. Jimmy wins via DQ in a very short as fuck match, because Rusev comes out and attacks everyone, he just happens to hit Jimmy first. This still technically makes Kidd and Cesaro 3-0 against Jimmy and Jey Uso. Match 9, Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins, with J&J security barred from ringside. So of course Kane and the Big Show come out, but fortunately so do Ryback and Rowan. It's a really good match, and there's really not that much fuckery in it, and Rollins gets the curb stomp for the win. I really have no complaints. Then after that, the Authority decide that they're going to beat up Ryback and Rowan, and they do. Just, I don't know, it was a really good spot where they could have had Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, John Cena, if he was there, come out and, save them. But whatever. All in all, it was a decent show, and I'm excited for Fastlane, though I still think it's kind of a stupid show, but it's got a really good card. So I'm gonna go down the card. I'm gonna give you my predictions. Okay. Let's go down the card. One moment. Okay. We have 7 matches in total. First match on the list, Rusev with Lana versus John Cena in a singles match for the WWE United States Championship. I do think that Rusev is going... I think John Cena is going to win this match, but I do not think John Cena is going to get the title. I think some sort of weird fuckery is going to happen, and this is going to be carried through into WrestleMania, and that's where John Cena is going to get his big win and get the title. Either in like a no DQ match or something like that, falls count anywhere, something awesome. Nikki Bella with Brie Bella versus Paige, a singles match for the WWE Divas Championship. I really don't care because I really don't want to watch Nikki Bella wrestle, but I think they're going to give it to Paige. I can't see... Paige has been dominant for like 5 matches straight now. I cannot see Paige losing this, because it will grind her momentum straight to a halt. And let's be honest, Nikki has never looked strong. So, as I said, I cannot imagine them not giving this to Paige. If they don't, they're foolish for it. Then we have Bad News Barrett. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan. Oh, there's another match in here I didn't know about. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, a singles match. The winner will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. If I go with the rumor, this is going to be a some sort of draw, double DQ, double countout, something, and we're not going to have a winner, and it's going to be a triple threat. If I had to pick one based upon how they've been looking, my money would be on Daniel Bryan winning, unless they pull the trigger on Roman Reigns turning heel, and Roman Reigns wins by cheating. But I think my money's... I think I'm going with screwy finish. In fact, I'm fairly certain I'm going with a screwy finish. Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose, a singles match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Considering Bad News Barrett has sucked as far as like winning goes, I give this to Dean Ambrose. The Usos with Naomi versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro with Natalya. Tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. I believe Tyson Kidd and Cesaro are going to walk away with this. They are 3-0 over the Usos. I think they got their number. Next match, Goldust versus Stardust. In a singles match. I'm really certain Stardust is going to win this. And then finally, a match that they never, ever on any of the programs said it was going to be at the pay-per-view, but is listed on the card, is Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback versus The Authority. And The Authority being Seth Rollins, Kane, and Big Show. In a 6-man tag team match. Basically, at every single turn when we've had this ultimate confrontation, the Authority is lost. I believe that theme's going to continue. However, I also am willing to believe. I don't know. I think the Authority is going to lose. We also have the confrontation of Sting and Triple H. And if Triple H does not manage to shit his pants again, I believe Sting is just going to punk him again. And that's going to set up our match for WrestleMania. Those are my predictions. That was Smackdown. I'll see you all at Fastlane. Unless you watch, Total Nonsense Analysis, then I'll see you at Impact.